Hey, what's happening, guys? Yep, another multimeter. This is from Banggood, SKU 108752, TAC 158879994, and it is the Vici, not the Vici VC, but the Vici VC99 multimeter. Someone asked me a couple months ago to review this, so I said, sure, if I can get one, I'll be happy to review it. Lists for $41.92, and it has a review of super okay. Now, you can't beat a review like that. Anyway, this just arrived from Banggood. I have not touched it. I have not taken it out of its packaging. We shall do that together. Manual, leads, short alligator leads, thermocouple, and the meter, and it is a full-size meter. Grab a knife. Comes in a nice, soft, not as soft as a fluke, but a soft multimeter condom. Hey, batteries are included. What do you know about that? Alright, let's put it through its paces. And of course, I will be using my Probe Master probes that I use for every multimeter review. And I await your comments on that. You know why I do it? If you're new to the channel, you don't know why I do it. Every meter is evaluated with this set of probes. That way we're only evaluating the multimeter, not the multimeter, along with the probes that come with it. It's only fair. Okay, I've had my lab voltage standard warming up here. This is the AD, get the right angle on there, 584 LH voltage standard. No, it's not NIST quality, but it's good enough for you and me. That is a nice big screen, so that's good. Trying to get the light not to shine right on the face of the multimeter. Okay, let's start with 2.5 volts. Not bad. This is, I believe, 4,000 counts. Guess we should have looked that up, huh? Summary. Where's it say? Where's it say? What's it say? Has an 8-bit microprocessor. Why don't you just tell us what the counts are? Nah. 6,000 counts. Alright, 5 volts. Okay. A little slow reading, but I mean, I'd rather have it be slow and accurate than fast and inaccurate. 7.5. Right on. $10 volts. Close enough for government work. Let's go to AC. We should be somewhere around 123 volts. That's somewhere around 123 volts. Not bad. Let's, while we're here, I'll take a look at the frequency. We should see about 60 hertz here. 59.96. Can't beat that, can we? Okay, let's get that out of the way. And we shall go on to reading resistances with our resistor standard. We'll start high today with 1 meg. That's pretty close. 10K. And that's right on the nut. 1K. Close enough. Least significant digit. And small, here's 2.2 ohms. I'd like to see a little closer than that, but for such a low resistance, sometimes that's about all you can get. Okay, so I'll press the blue button. Now we have continuity mode. Okay, not impressive at all. And diode mode. So we got some diodes here. Let's start off with a Schottky. Should get what, about 0.3? 0.2, okay. This should be somewhere around 0.5 for this high-speed diode. And around 0.67 for the silicon junction diode. Come on, baby. 0.52. Those diode readings seem a little off. Let me check them against a known good meter. 0118B, which I've been using for over a year, and I find it to be a very good and reliable meter. Point 2. Or 6. Okay. They just seem low to me, but they're fine. That's why we can always double check, and you should always double check and triple check with a source that you believe. Alright. Let's do capacitors. We'll come back to the LEDs. Alright, what do we got here? First up, we'll go with this big one. 100 microfarad. Let me short it out first. Yeah. Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Well, it's definitely within range, but quite slow. This one's probably, what, a 10? Reading 11.11. Alright, a couple smalls. I think this is 100 nano. This one should read about 50. Oh, had them backwards. That's good. This one I think is like 22 puff. Alright, let's try it again. Let me put that in here just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Nothing. So it's not reading the small ones. Let's have a look here. And it's specs. Says it should read down to 40 nano. Well, that's below. Okay, not a big deal. Alright, let's go back to diodes and check our LEDs. Shall we start with the red? There it is, lit. I'm reading correctly. Yellow. I don't know how well you can see it, but that is lit. Let me move there. Now you can tell it's lit. Lit and gives us our forward voltage reading. Green, brightly lit, no forward voltage reading. Blue, somewhat dimly lit, no forward voltage reading. And this near infrared or near ultraviolet purple, lit, but no reading. That's not uncommon, and it's not a bad thing. Let me get the current tester out. Alright, let's turn that off. And V shall jump over here to the milliamps. And we should be reading 1 milliamp here. And we are 2, 3, 10 milliamps. Good. 20 milliamps. Good. All right, let me reset this. And we'll check out the microamps. Should be about 100 microamps. It's reading a little low there, isn't it? It's about 200 microamps. Doesn't seem to like them. Alright, there we go, 100 microamps. Now we're cooking. But it's reading 123. Let's see what happens at 200 microamps. 221, 300 microamps, 320, 400 microamps, 417. 500 microamps, 516. Yeah, not so great on the microamps. Very interesting. Alright, let's hook it up to a signal generator and really see if we can't beat up the frequency counter in it. Let's go to frequency. I've got this set for a 1 kilohertz sine wave. Well, it sure doesn't like sine waves, does it? Let's try a square wave. That's a 1 kilohertz square wave. Okay. Try triangle. Oh man. That's just crazy, man. Let me adjust the frequency here. I'll bring this out here, you guys can see what I'm doing. Just double checking here. I am on frequency, yeah. Channel 1. Okay. Let's bring it down. We know 60 hertz worked AC. Let's go with our wave again. Huh. Maybe it's our amplitude we need to increase. Or Paul's an idiot and he forgot to switch over our leads. How many of you had been yelling? All of you? Yeah, I don't blame you. Alright, back to frequency. There's 1 kilohertz sine wave, square wave, triangle wave. Go back to frequency. 10 kilohertz, no problem. Square wave, no problem. Triangle wave, no problem. 100K, no worries for a sine, no worries for square wave, no worries for triangle wave. One megahertz, no problem. Square wave, triangle wave. Alright, let's see where she shits the bed. 1 megahertz, 2 megahertz, 3, 4, there's 8, there's 15 megahertz, there's 20 megahertz, 30 megahertz. Oh, she shit out there somewhere. Where did it happen? There's 23. Okay, so 23 megahertz is the limit. You know what? I'm cool with that. Now, let's, how low can we go, right? One hertz? Yeah. 2 hertz? Yeah. Is that good all across? Sine, square, triangle. No worries, man. That is an excellent frequency counter. Alright, let's go back to square wave. Check our duty cycle. 50%, not bad. Let's go to a pulsed wave. And I will adjust the duty cycle. Right now we're at 50%. Let's go up to 80%. Yeah? You can see that there. That's good. Let's take it down to 10%. Yeah. Nice frequency counter on this. No worries whatsoever. Let's take it apart. Condom comes off rather easily. Are you telling me this whole thing comes apart with 1, maybe 2 screws, which I will endeavor to not lose? That'd be impressive, wouldn't it? 3 screws. That is more along the lines of what I expect. They are self-tappers going into plastic. That's an interesting little way to deal with the batteries, huh? Okay. Mooned, as Dave from EEV blog would say. I don't know that that spring was attached to anything. I'm just looking here at this soldering. Let us zoom down and enjoy it together. You can see they've added extra soldering on here to increase the current handling capability. That's fine. Looks like they've really chopped off the ends of some of the leads here, which is not particularly wonderful. Alright, let's see. I think this is being held together by 4 screws. We shall find that out together momentarily. Now, if you look at this layout, this is mostly ground plane. I really do not expect to see much on the other side. Okay, perhaps these two also. These 4 here are holding the display on, and I prefer not to take them out if I can avoid it. Wow. That is barren, man. I mean, there is literally nothing there. Glass fuses, that's one way to cheap out. See a little bit of diode protection here. Looks like somebody took a bite out of the current shunt. I don't know, maybe they weren't getting enough copper in their diet in Shenzhen that day. Look at that baby. 1, 2, 3, 4 diodes. Glass fuses. How quaint. Couple of PTCs coming off the, yeah, that's the main input, I believe. Lots of flux residue on the board. Not much room here between the shunt and that. What the hell is it called? A fuse. That fuse, yes, it's a fuse. That's what it is. Mixture of through-hole tech, surface mount tech, and I'm sure there's just a blob under the display. All right, back together. Seems to be working fine. Doesn't have a light. It doesn't have a whole lot of protection, but none of these cheap multimeters do. I can't recommend this for anything other than, you know, simple home lab DC type work. I don't like that I can't really get my finger in there to pull that out. You could always make the hole bigger, I guess. It does have a little cushioning, so it stands up pretty well. No problems there. Size-wise, there's the full-size O1. You can see they are relatively similar. And there's an A-Nang for comparison. Like I said, this is $41. This is $20. I'd pick this one. This does have a really nice big screen with big numerals which I will use for some videos. One last thing I want to take a look at here, and you know what, we can use the probes they send with this, which are labeled Cat 3000 volt, which is strange because the meter itself is only labeled as Cat 2000 volt. Hey, it's always better to exceed your specifications than to not meet them. I'm going to check out the bar graph. Let's zoom in on that. Let me turn this light out. I apologize. So we're at 11.32 volts on the power supply. We're seeing 11.34 here. Let me adjust. That was amp volts. Okay, we're at 11 volts. Let's go to 10. And you can see we are right on that 10 mark there. Let's take her down to 5. You can see it's automatically switched and jumped up to the 5 volt. Then when I go to 6, we're showing maximum deflection of the scale. When I go to 7, she jumps up, and 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's right on. Good. So the bar graph is very accurate in reading. I like that. That's very nice. Now, you remember how poorly this did in the continuity test with the good gold-plated probes. Let's take it up here. Same test with the probes that came with it. You see, you might think that your circuit is shit, when in fact, it's just poor probes. Those Probe Masters are $15 or $18. Even with the cheapest probe, they make it worth it. So, that's our look at the VC99. A decent multimeter. A big thanks to Banggood for sending this out to us free of charge for our consideration. I will put a link to where you can buy this from our friends at Banggood down below. Big thanks to you guys for watching. That's it. I'm out. Peace.